So, still on P2B's defection, so Dino Melaye has blamed P2B for defecting to NDC. They say P2B is not important, but then, P2B is in everybody's mouth. Somebody said he doesn't want to be in the gang, in the midst of these people. He had to excuse himself. It suddenly became a problem, guys. Anyways, this is what Dino Melaye twisted. He said P2B excused himself from tough situation. If he cannot face party tribulations and crisis, how does he intend to handle Nigeria? Because Nigeria will pass ADC problems, so he can only operate in an air-conditioned kitchen. Hot kitchens are not for him. He has never gone through primary. Abga gave him free governorship tickets. Atiku gave him free VP tickets. Labour gave him free presidential tickets. He cannot be part of primary election. Reasons why he left PDP, reasons why he left ADC for another free ticket in NDC. NDC is an agency of APC, Senator Dino Melaye. Dino Melaye was one person that has been praising P2B because he was in ADC. And now P2B has left ADC to NDC. P2B is not a bad person, or mono be smarting. This thing is very simple. The whole conclusion is that P2B played smart. I believe these people have a plan, to tie P2B down to ADC, for them to accomplish their mission. But P2B played smart by leaving ADC and is now a problem to all the politicians in ADC. Guys, many people has reacted to what Dino Melaye said. Many people backfired him, guys. Take a look at what this one said. This one said, in conclusion, you want to tell the masses that your Oga Atiku Abubakar, whose fundamental human rights is to try again every election, is the right candidate. Next joke, please. Just like MCN, we deal with Obi everywhere he goes. People are solidly behind P2B. Now, this other person said, politicians will always give reasons to justify their selfish interests. That's why they get richer at our expense by playing with the lives of Nigerians. As it clearly stands, P2B in his popularity absolutely does not need primaries to participate in 2027 elections. Primaries in political parties is a huge distraction that only enriches very, very corrupt politicians at the expense and detriment of the common man. Please keep your kitchen and heat opinions to your deceptive self. Nigeria is literally burning as we speak, and we don't need the distractions of every corrupt party primaries to let its fire engulf all of us. Nigerians are suffering and buying on daily basis while you guys live like kings with opinions that always protect your selfish interests. Dino Melaye, please let P2B be. If he's not important, why is he always in all of your mouths? We all know the truth. If he's unimportant, the Dino Melaye we all know will not be pained talking about P2B. He's too smart for all of you to be used by Atiku. Then this other person said, you guys said he doesn't have structure, but you have been wailing since he left ADC for you people. When I won't use my president for una selfish interest, if you cry finish, you will be okay. The other one said, the same P2B you're praising few months ago is now the evil person. The same P2B you guys called the best before jollof rice. I want to be smart, Then this other person said, be careful with your words with P2B. If we obedience decide to face you on, your social media account followers will drop to 0 within 24 hours or more. Then the other one said, let's talk about primaries in the USA. Did President Donald Trump go through hot kitchens to win the primary elections? He only asked for a level playing opportunity. This one said, so you call yourself an educated man, yet you think like an illiterate. There is little or nothing P2B can do in a party in which he is not in control of. As a president, he's the commander-in-chief and can solely make decisions that would solve a situation in the country swiftly. And then the other one said, I hope you know Nigerians don't trust you at all. You're still one of the most corrupt politicians in Nigeria. Then the other one said, let me fix it for you. P2B excused himself from a corrupt and rich system. That is just it. The truth is not far from what this person said now. That P2B excused himself from a corrupt and rich system. This P2B's defection pained all of them. It pained all of them to their bone marrow, guys. Take a look at this video coming from Channels TV. It was a man that was live in Channels TV, guys. He said, wherever P2B goes, we will follow him, just like MTN. Guys, take a look and I'll be right back.
Well, the Obedient movement stands firmly behind His Excellency Peter Obi because of what he stands for. Now, what we saw in the last election is that Nigerians are waking up to the fact that it's not really about, parties per se. It's about individuals. It's about finding somebody who can secure the interests of Nigerians, not only for the common man, but for the business owner as well, right? And so people have found that person in Peter Obi. We believe he has integrity. We believe he has everything that it takes, not only to be president of Nigeria, but to change the trajectory of this nation. So whether he moves to the NDC or wherever he moves to, the people will follow him, right? I think politics, as we understand it, has started to change. In fact, it showed that it has changed in the last election, right? There was, no structure, no this, no that, no that. But we showed that these young people of nowadays, they're not to be bought, they're not to be horse traded, right? They know what they're looking for and they will go after it, right? And so we will see that even more in this election. And I know the opponents have been going around saying all sorts of interesting stories. Oh, he doesn't this, he doesn't that. It still won't work because we have a generation that has woken up to the fact that Nigeria will not get better except they try.
Well, there is a leadership issue that has also been raised, even by political fellow politicians such as himself. One of those issues is around the fact that as a leader, you need to be able to, you see a problem, you stay there, you solve the problem and not walk away. They have cited the instance of what they call his aversion, Mr. Peter Obi's aversion to competition, because he moved from the APGA, which he swore he would never leave, to the PDP. And then from the PDP, he moved to the Labour Party, got the presidential ticket, contested the elections, came third, and then moved from there to the ADC. And in, should I say, weeks, maybe less than a month, he moved away from that. So there are those who are saying that, look, once this man sees a problem, he sees a resistance, rather than stay to solve what the problem is, he junkets, he moves. And so they're wondering, how can we trust someone? How can Nigerians trust someone into the Nigeria's problems into the hands of someone who runs away from problems?
Okay, now firstly, I would like to unpack the idea that Peter Obi is running away from problems. That's not what's happening. He's moving to a strategically advantageous party. That happened in Tinubu's career. That has happened in most political careers in Nigeria. Everybody moves when there's a strategic advantage.
Just to be clear,
right?
When did the president Tinubu?
I think the president has moved for, first he was, I think he has moved to like 2 or 3 parties before the formation of the APC.
No, he moved from the Alliance for Democracy to form ACN, to form AC, and then ACN, which is the same ACN. He was just a party that is changing names consistently over time. So the APC is the one that's amalgamated from, ACN amalgamated with others to form the APC.
Yes, he's still changing parties, right, when it is advantageous to do that. That is exactly the same thing that Peter Obi is doing. He's moving from one party to another when it's advantageous. And keep in mind, the reason why he's doing this is to serve the Nigerian people, right? So moving parties does not mean anything. And where is the source of all these problems? Right? Now let's see what happened with the LP, right? We know that elements outside were involved in the caucus or the fracas that happened in the Labour Party, right? Funding certain divisions, leading to court case after court case. And you don't have to take my word for it. Instead, take the word of the what's it called? The president's spokesperson, what's his name? There was a gentleman that works for the president, I can't remember his name now, who came out and was cited as saying to other people that please stay within the party and cause disruption. The chief of staff for the president said that, right? So that's on camera, there's evidence of that. And we know that elements within the APC are, shall we say, pushing for people to disrupt other parties, right, in order to create chaos so that those parties will not be successful. We know that the Nigerian judicial system right now has also been used as an element. The Supreme Court just told the High Court that, okay, they were wrong in the first place for what they did with the David Mark leadership, right? So we know that elements are against these parties and are working against this party. And what Peter Obi has realized is that rather than wait until they disrupt this thing and make it a one-party state, it is advantageous to go to a different party and serve the Nigerian people. But the most important thing that I would say on this matter is this: does it matter what party Obi is in or if he moves party when the average Nigerian with 1 month's salary cannot afford a bag of rice? Does it matter that a person earning, what party he is, that a person earning 100,000 naira per month to save for a used Toyota Camry will save for 20 years if he's saving 50% of his salary? Does it really matter what party he's in? This election is not about party, it's not about any of those things. It's about survival. It's about the fact that business people in Nigeria right now are losing business. Businesses are shut down. There's insecurity in the country. These are facts. The poverty rate as of today is at 63%. When APC came into power 12 years ago, it was 30%. The inflation rate has doubled. The cost of fuel is approaching 2,000. I, for one, as with most Nigerians, could not care less what party Obi stands in, so long as he is going to deliver us from the curse of APC that has been ongoing for the last 12 years.
Okay, I'll still come back to that. But then there is something that politicians, including Mr. Peter Obi himself, has said, and which is what you have also said, that some forces, external forces, are responsible for the internal conflicts in certain political parties.
Yes.
To be honest, I find that a little curious.
Okay.
Because one expects that the responsibility of leadership is to solve problems.
Yes.
Is to provide solutions.
Definitely.
So, and sometimes, particularly in public service, guaranteed that those who are in public service, they know and they will tell you. Some people actually go rather out of their way to cause problems for their leaders. It is standard. Yeah. Just yesterday, someone very close to me was telling me something like that, backbiting just to achieve some, So if that happens, right, because, that will happen in government. No matter how good, how well you're doing, you will still find forces who will find fault in whatever it is that you're doing. There are those who believe that the president is doing fantastically well, and you are here now saying he's not doing anything. Fine, everyone is entitled to their opinion. So if we find a situation where Mr. Obi is doing whatever he's doing, and some people consider it to be well, and other people say he is not doing well, will he run away? Because you're saying now that some people, they came into his political party, whichever political party he came to cause division. Mm-hmm. Isn't that where we know who a leader is, to be able to confront whatever the issues are and resolve the issues? Didn't the president himself confront that in his own political party? So why would you convince anyone that he's because he's facing problems or opposition in his party, or because of some sponsored whatever you call it that he's leaving?
Yes, no, I understand that perspective, right? But in situations where the deliverer, the savior, the last hope of the common man, the judiciary, is being used against the party itself, right? You are going up against the whole of the federal government, which can be very powerful when it comes to fighting for their own selfish interests. Unfortunately, not so powerful when it comes to solving the problem of insecurity. But you're going up against the might of the federal government, right? Which is being wielded by people who are willing to bend the law. Sometimes, as a leader, you have to take a decision that is strategically advantageous. And let us ask ourselves again, do the Nigerian people care? Do they care? We didn't know what LP was until he joined LP, or we went out and voted in mass for LP. Why? Not because of LP, but because of Obi. Obi embodies something different in politics, right? A leader who will not compromise his values, will not play the game on the terms that has been laid out. Before this, now we know that every political party has a system whereby you bribe delegates, you do all of these things, So you have candidates who are striving to be president, who are spending 50 billion, 100 billion naira to acquire that power, right? Please tell me, if they spend 50 billion, would they still work for the people? Or they work to secure their own interests? So you have a politician that says, I will not play the game the way it's been laid out. I would not become a party to this kind of thing. And when I recognize that the institutions of state are being used against my party to try and destroy it, I will move over to a different party, to a safe platform on which to compete. And the platform is open to anybody who wants to join. There are many members who have moved over to the NDC right now. And that's fine. Many more are welcome to join in time for the election, right? So the opposition has the opportunity to still be united and stand behind the most bankable candidate. Please let me remind you that the last time we had a political leader who appealed so much to the masses was MK Abiola. In recent history, we've never had somebody who invokes such goodwill of the Nigerian people that they are willing to work tirelessly. This is not a man who is, bribing individuals and doing all of this kind of scheming that we now call wisdom, right? He's somebody who is genuine in his service to the Nigerian people. You can't throw that away. And let's keep in mind, why are the political elite so afraid of this man? Even just out of sheer curiosity, people should vote for him because they are terrified of this man. And the only reason why they'll be terrified of him is because they recognize he is the only one that will not play the same game they've been playing.
But he is going to govern the same people that are playing these games. Let's be clear. It's not gonna. It's easier now when he is not in government, he's in opposition. But when he gets behind the seat, trust me, it's a lot tougher. So one of the issues that has also come up, and which I think the Obedient movement may also want to speak to, is the political machinery. There are those who say, for instance, that one of the challenges that that Mr. Peter Obi has as a presidential candidate, as a politician, is that of a political machinery that cuts across the whole nation. There will always be influences. There is always need, for influences here and there. So there are those who say that there is always that need for him to build political bridges across all sectors. But now that he has said that, okay, the political bridge that he would have built with the PDP, he had to disengage from it because of certain oppositions or conditions. Same he did with the LP, because the party was having internal issues that one would have expected that the leader, such as Mr. Peter, with all his influence, knowing that the Obedient movement was behind him, could have sat there, did anything he needed to do to resolve the issues. That, and same with the ADC. So what are your thoughts on that? But that hasn't happened. In fact, that question still remains about whether or not he has the political clout to be able to mobilize Nigerians to his side.
Oh, wow. I think the last election shows that he has clout, right? And I think part of
there is a difference between political clout and popularity. I hope you know that.
Now here's the thing, right? We've been abused as the Nigerian people. We've been abused for so long, right? That we now think the abuse is normality. We think that a politician needs to have, these corrupt individuals that can do his bidding in order to effectively run the country. And that's not true, right? Peter Obi has an appeal across Nigeria. Bear in mind that since the last election, he has been moving around. And believe me, he's not alone. Rabiu Kwankwaso is there, which brings in the North. We know that the Southeast was behind him in the last election. We know that elements of the Southwest was behind him as well. And now you have a key Northern figure on that ticket who has his own natural base, who is an experienced politician. So this notion that somehow he doesn't have that appeal stems from the fact that we have gotten so used to appeal being exemplified through influence over corrupt figures, right?
So guys, let me take you on more reaction. Many Nigerians are reacting to what Dino Melaye said. Now this one said, Senator, you are the one who always runs from hot kitchens when it gets too hot. You left APC when they came for you in Kogi. You couldn't even hold your Senate seat. Peter Obi built successful businesses before politics. He governed Anambra with visible results. He doesn't need godfathers or dollar primaries to survive. That's why he walks away from rich kitchens. You call NDC an APC agency, yet you and Atiku has been in every major party, including APC before. Who is really the professional party hopper here? Nigeria's real wahala is recycled politicians like you, who has been in the system for decades, yet delivers zero. Obi is choosing principle over desperation. That's leadership, not weakness. Keep willing. The people has moved on. PO is still on the ballot. Then another person said, Dino, let's talk fat over shit. Peter Obi inherited a crisis within Anambra and delivered from education to healthcare, road infrastructures, and improved security. To say the least, he ended godfatherism and made my state the least indebted state, with savings in billions, not debt. He doesn't dodge primaries. He rejected godfatherism, backdoor deals with recycled establishment politicians like you and all those government-sponsored chaos that turns parties toxic just to ensure he's not on the ballot. Unlike you, Atiku, that has no regrets for the South, he respects zoning, hence his promise to do for 4 years. Nigeria's real problem is from the same political elite recycling failure and corruption for decades in the name of primary elections. Obi offers competence, capacity, compassion, oversharing money to your kind. Meanwhile, where is your criticism of Kwankwaso, or in fact of this terrible Tinubu government? Why always Obi? Una no want am, but for us it's PO or nothing. Nigeria will be okay. Join NDC. Another one said, "You are the people. You are one of the people who brought this evil APC to power in 2015 and can never be a solution. Every party has zoned their presidency to the south, but ADC reserves theirs for 80 years old who's part of the problem. Leave Peter Obi alone, Nigeria will be okay." Then the other one said, "There is something most of you politicians don't get. We don't have a political party. P2B is our political party. On a normal day, we wouldn't have anything to do with you, with your likes, but due to the fact that in politics you sometimes have a mingle with people like you, we pretend like we didn't know you and what you are about. If another person got the ticket in ADC, we would have pulled out." Then the other one said, "Person say him no do again, you people should leave him alone. By the way, Nigerians are tired of people wey no dey okay." Guys, this is what Nigerians are saying. Let me know your own thoughts under the comment section. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. Thank you.